Hey, what's up? Welcome to Steve McGrath's Basscraft. So, I just fired these flat wound Tomastic strings on my Allen Woody bass here, and yeah, they sound class. I don't know if you ever tried this. Put flat wounds on your bass and use a bit of tremolo, and you get this really old school kind of sound. Yeah, lovely kind of spring reverby thing going on, or spring reverb, tremolo, whatever you put on it. And yeah, so I just have it plugged into my Zoom B3 because I got the HX Stomp and it's a class pedal, but I just keep using this Zoom because it's really simple. You just plug it in, has everything you need, and my favourite feature is has a foot switch for turning on the crappy little drum beats that come with it. And they're perfect for, you know, having a blow, as they say. Yeah. So yeah, today's guest. Oh, turn off that drum beat. Today's guest is Alan Brown, aka Bully the Kid. So Bully has this class YouTube channel where he reviews gears. He reviews gear, chats about different equipment, stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really fun YouTube channel. It kind of is different to other ones. He just doesn't overproduce anything. He's just himself, just comes on camera and chats. Some videos are short, some go for ages, where he's like opening up an active bass, trying to find out what the hell is wrong with it and stuff like that. And he kind of collabs a good bit with a guy called Low End Lobster, another gearhead on YouTube, and they send basses back and forth to each other, like Franken basses, and review them and things like that. So definitely check him out. And we had a really fun chat. We covered, you know, his channel and his bass journey, and just went to some random territory, which you can't beat that. So enjoy the chat. There's a bit of cursing in it, but you know what you expect. And as you know, I don't make any money from doing this, but I appreciate your support. So if you want to support the podcast, just follow the links below. You can buy me a virtual coffee or beer, or you can buy one of my new t-shirts, which are class. I'm really happy with them. First batch is nearly sold out, but I have a few left and I'll restock when they're all gone. So grab a tee or whatever. If you can't afford that, sure, just like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And yeah, that's it. See you in a minute. Welcome, man. How are you getting on?
I'm doing okay, man. Dibble told me about you wanting to, you know, talk to me on this platform, and I was like, this is different. I haven't talked to any Irish people in a while. So
really? Oh, you've met a few Irish on the road or in your hometown? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't know, well, three things. I'll give you three. McDonald's there is on a completely different level than McDonald's in the Americas.
Yeah, the beef, because it's all Irish beef. Is like I'm actually from a farm. I grew up on a beef farm, or dry stock as you'd call it, and I actually don't eat meat, but that's where I grew up. I did when I was growing up, but so that's one. So the burgers are better.
That's one. Two, y'all don't celebrate St. Paddy's Day. I don't know why we as Americans put St. Paddy's Day on Irish people and also Scottish people. I don't know why we did that, but it's like green. Yeah, that's definitely you.
Don't y'all I'll give you one more thing you do. Another thing you do, St. Paddy's Day. That's like when they say St. Paddy's Day, that's the worst. Have you heard people saying this? They don't say St. Paddy's. They say same Patties, St. Patties.
Okay. Didn't know that. I just thought it was shorthand for St. Patrick's Day. Okay. Y'all aren't short.
Yeah,
every Irishman I've known has been over 6 feet tall. I was like, where are these leprechauns that y'all are talking about? And that could also be Scottish people as well. Keep in mind, this is America.
Yeah.
So,
It's all the summer in Europe. You just paint with wide brushes in Europe. You're like, there's Ireland, Scotland, bam. There's Spain and Portugal,
listen,
bam.
but here's the thing, though. Y'all do the same thing to us. So the people that you meet from like New York, you're expecting the same people to be like that from Texas. It's as different as Britain and Russia, even though it's there. The difference is there. So
I was aware of that because I've been to America, and I was saying, like, if you do a road trip, it's like you're going across a continent. You know, well, because if you go from Texas to New Orleans, they're speaking French when you get to New Orleans. The food is completely different. Yeah. The people are completely different.
Yes,
it's just so.
Yeah. And what we tend to like is also different. So like, New Orleans is pretty much seafood. And then Texas, we doing beef.
No, there's not much grass. I don't know what those cattle are eating in Texas.
I'm just saying. Yeah. So it kind of varies, almost not region to region, but really state to state.
You're in Oklahoma,
but
though,
we all get painted with the same brush. Yeah, but I'm not from there. I have to make that known. I have my flag here.
Oh yeah,
I am imported.
The Lone Star.
I am imported.
Do you know what's a good beer from Texas? Shinerbach. That's good stuff.
Shinerbach.
We don't get that in Europe.
Yes, indeed.
Ireland or Europe.
I can get that. This may upset you, but I have to say it. I found out that I'm a Murphy Stout person rather than a Guinness person.
Yeah, I am too. But I think I prefer Murphy's. They don't sell it in most pubs. It's creamier. You see, like, we've 3 big stouts over here, and it's like a level. The Beamish is the harsher one. Some people like that. Guinness is in the middle, and Murphy's is on top. It's the creamiest.
It basically boiled down to this. So where I'm from, in Lake Charles, Louisiana, there's a pub called McAllister's. Not McAllister's. I can't think of the name of the place, but it was like McGinty's, or it's not McAllister's.
McGarnagles or something like that.
of the sort. Something of the sort. And that's gonna bother me because I can see the place. I can see the inside of it. I had a whole flight of different beers from all over, and they was like, this one here is Guinness, and then this one is Guinness Drought, and this is Guinness Black or whatever. And I was like, I like this one. And I think the thing that changed me was like, after you drink a whole pint of Guinness, you kind of feel like you ate something.
It's an amazing fact for you.
Feeling.
Do you know there's less calories in a pint of Guinness than any lager? It's the lowest amount of calories of all the beers.
That's amazing to me because I have never been fuller than drinking Guinness after a trivia night. I've never been that.
It does fill you up. It fills out the edges, It really, after a meal, a few pints, and there's not going to be much room left for anything else.
Yeah. I was I had did some bangers and mash, right? This place is an Irish pub, so bangers and mash, they had the stuff, assuming that's what is authentic.
It's not really that popular
to me.
It's not that popular, but you have Spud's potatoes, so you're winning. We love them, so.
So it tasted good. I was cool with it, and then they were like, "Yo, 2 rounds of Guinness." I was like, "Hey, I'm game. Let's do it." Trivia night was over with, and then, dude, I was like waddling out of there. It was. Yeah, of course I drank shots of other things, but the Guinness sent me over the edge, and I was just like, "Oh, this isn't good."
Yeah,
this
well, the worst
good.
I ever did was now I don't drink like this anymore, but I had 15 pints of Murphy's on Paddy's Day once in Cork, and I was feeling that the next day.
Okay. All right. Have
Okay,
we started?
on that point,
onto
the base. Onto base. Yeah, we've started.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
were. Oh
So
yeah.
what's up?
What's up is I want to know what was going on with you were hot rodding the basses, and I mess around with guitars all the time, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about that stuff, but I didn't know what the hell you were doing sticking magnets into your square.
Okay. So the idea was this. The idea was to get more output out of a pickup rather than have to spend $150 on buying a whole new set. Whenever I first started doing the hot rodding thing on a certain number of bases, I think I've done it on maybe 3 on my channel. It came because I didn't have a replacement that was 1-to-1 for the pickups I was using in my bass. So I had a SX bass, which is right here. I don't know if you're gonna see it. There, you can see it. So it's a SX natural 6-string bass, and trying to find something that would fit it without me having to do like body modifications was kind of hard. So I was like, okay, what can I do to kind of give me a different little outlook and stuff, or give me a different sound, or give me a little bit more oomph whenever I'm playing. So I was like, okay, let me look on the internet, see what is possibly out there. And I came across the idea of hot rodding basses by simply adding magnets to the bottom sides of your pole pieces that are, over the strings or under the strings, and it adds more magnetism, thereby adding more output to what your signal is seeing. So when can this be actually useful? This comes in more useful when you do a whole bunch of like articulation type things. So like if you play hard and you want to really play soft, and then so when you dig in really hard, it gets really gritty really fast, and the amount of that grit increases a lot. So I haven't changed the strings on my bass in probably a year and a half on the 6-string bass that I did that to. One, because they're black beauties and they look the part. Like, this is a natural bass. I have a black pick guard, black inlays, black hardware. It just kind of runs.
And they're expensive as well, the black beauties. So
awesome. So I just kind of left it alone. And then whenever I do the little solo gig, whenever those come around, they're already weathered, they're already worn in. Biggest thing would be breaking it whenever I'm slapping. Other than that, if I'm just doing a solo thing and I'm just playing regular, I don't have to worry about anything. So that's how it actually started. But I got that from a lead guitar YouTube video that I seen. They took 3 magnets and threw it under their pickups. Because I have a bass and it's a bigger magnet spread, I had to do 5. I did end up doing 5 around each one of them, and 12 come in a pack. So I was like, all right, cool, that works. Yeah,
cool.
That's how that actually started.
Is it kind of getting close to like an active bass sound out of the passive bass, or is it just giving you that kind of level of output?
So this is the thing. So with that bass, I actually turned it into an active bass by adding an Audaire preamp, and the battery cavity is in the control plate. So it's an active bass, but my pickups weren't giving me much characteristic change whenever I was messing with them. Like they would just kind of just be like, man, Yeah. So me doing that kind of gave it a little bit more character whenever I actually played on it and stuff like that. So
cool. And what does that entail? If you're doing a solo gig, what does that mean? You're playing with backing tracks or playing solo bass things?
So usually how it goes is I'll have a band, or I'll be a part of a program, and I'll have 5 or 6 songs that I kind of do the cover of, and where you would hear the vocal lead, that would be my bass. So I would basically be singing, but with my bass. So I would take either a pedal that does an octaver to kind of raise up what my bass can do, because I can't play lead. I got these big hands, right? So I take an octaver, raise up the octave, and then go into the dusty end of the bass and kind of
play the melody,
play out what the person is singing, basically, and then kind of do some embellishments. But that's what it would do. So it's like the pop culture or whatever is popular right now. It would be me playing bass to what they're supposed to be singing. So ends up happening is people will catch the melody and then they'll be singing it while I'm playing the exact same tune.
Cool.
So it's kind of like I'll play. Yeah, I'll play, and then they'll start singing the part, and then I'm like, yeah, and then I come back in and I play the whole thing, and then it's kind of a family.
Isn't that how jazz started?
Yeah.
When jazz kicked off, that's what they were doing. They were just playing the popular songs of the day, and then they'd pick up the melody, and then they just solo like crazy over them. But people knew the tunes from singing them, like.
Yeah, you know where it's going. So anything I do to get to the finish line, you're okay with, because you know where it has a stop, and then the chorus has a start.
Cool.
So there
that's
you go.
Fun.
So
that sounds like
whenever I do
fun.
the solo stuff. Yeah, it is, because you can experiment with doing all this stuff, but at the very end of it, you know that at the end of that 4 count, pop, 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 boom, then you back to the original piece. And then you got to be there for that part, because there's a chorus, and everybody knows the chorus of a song. You may not know the verses, but I guarantee you know the chorus. So that's kind of what I do.
Cool.
There.
And you don't do loops and then do the melodies over them. You play with a band like to do that.
Well, there has been some situations where it has to have been acoustic. And I do have a looper pedal. I use a TC Electronic Ditto looper, just a little cheap one, a little $65 one. And I drop the beat first, right? And then I come with the bass line. And then I come with the melody and then pull it out, pull it in whenever I need those things to build. But yeah, I've done it that way too. It's a little bit more hectic, because you have to be very precise in what you're doing. You have to be very intentional in what you're doing with that. So it's more exciting, but it's far more dicey than to play with a band.
Yeah,
who
tell
you
me
can
about
say,
it.
hey, run it around again. Yeah, run it around again. Let me catch it.
I put them up. I put a bunch of them on Instagram myself, like, and a bunch of Redbone and a few other popular tunes. And someone asked me to do a gig like solo bass, and I was just saying to them, "What you see on Instagram took me about 100 takes, and I wouldn't do that in front of a crowd. It would just be a disaster." I said, I'm not the guy to do a solo bass gig. I said, I can make a cool video where I'm doing a loop, but that one take was one out of maybe 1,000.
A lot of that is, I will agree with you, because you know you kind of want to put your best foot forward whenever you post anything online, because you become scrutinized by people that don't know you, and so you kind of want to be good at what you're doing. But a lot of I don't know if you actually like watch my videos, but a lot of my style is kind of.
Yeah, no, you caught me there when we logged on. You were like, "Hey, are you doing your research right now?" I was watching your channel.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is straight from the hip. Everything that I do, pretty much, unless I'm like shortening a clip, I've ran that video one time through. Reason why is because I don't want to talk to somebody that's hella polished. Like, I don't want to try to learn from somebody that's a business. I'd much rather learn from somebody that's family, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you kind of, whenever you put out like a polished product, you kind of, I'm here, you're here, you're trying to get here, so I have to be here. Mine is, I'm not good at playing bass. I love everything about the bass. I love everything about the drums. let me tell you what I know. And then if you can get anything out of it, dope. If you can't, well, at least we experienced this together.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's kind of what sets your channel apart, though, because you won't take offense if I say it's not super polished. It is what it is, like. So, but it's funny because people think they're like, I can't do a YouTube channel, and they look at, like, you know, famous YouTubers like Patrick Hunter or Paul Davids, and they're like
Davey 504.
I need to make those videos, and then but you're just being you, and you're building up this huge fan base, and as well, you seem to have way more interaction than guys who might have more followers than you. You've got like a community because they know you now. You're not just this polished dude who never makes a mistake.
Yeah, I listen. The crazy thing is, I kind of think about it like this. Victor Wooten said something, and it's been very, it's very convenient for me to use this, especially in this situation. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and it's that there are no such things as a wrong note. You move it to the left or you move it to the right. It's in some scale.
Yeah. It's true.
So I do that shotgun mentality with all my videos. I did I just released the Sire U5, right? I did that today.
Yeah,
right?
I looked at it, and then I was looking at the Sire. I was like, my God, Sire, after bringing out a short scale bass, like, I have to get one.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Like, this is Low End Lobsters, but it does it, man. It does it. It does it.
That is awesome. Love it.
Yeah, it looks good. It feels good. But like in me playing along with the funk track, here's a little behind the scenes, especially for your show. I had not listened to that track, and as I was listening to it, I was playing it.
Yeah, you were grooving, jamming with it, I suppose.
Here's the thing, though. If you get halfway through it, there's a wrong note that's out of scale. So I pedaled the note and then came back to the left or to the right of the note, and then I fell back into the scale. That goes to prove the exact point.
Hey, man, if you give me permission, I'll put that audio at the end of the podcast.
That's completely fine with me. I don't really care. Whatever. But I do have to say that I hadn't played the track. I didn't know what key it was in. And if you watch my body language, that's literally me going like, okay, record, sound levels. All right, cool, we good. And then go. And then so I was playing it, and I was like, okay, what key is it in? Okay, what are you doing? All right, cool. And then I went to a solo part, and if I fell out of a scale, and then I just pedaled back into the scale and worked my way right on back to where I was. And that goes to prove that there is no wrong note.
No.
It's something that draws your attention to a certain part. So if I hadn't fell out of that scale at that point, you wouldn't have got that nice riff going all the way back to the original note.
It's all about being in the pocket, though. Like, if you do a fill with really weird notes, but in the pocket or in the right, it sounds cool.
Yeah,
you can get away with some serious, like Thundercat does the most crazy fills, but they're always in the pocket. So you're like, oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and then the messed up part is you can't use them.
No,
like you can't use them any other time than what that just happened right there. Like I've tried to take his chord progression and use it in a groove. You can't. I'll give you the song Dragon Ball Do-Rag.
And what? Some name for a song.
It's a great groove, phenomenal groove. Like it's gonna make you do that. Trying to take that and put that into usable situations, unless I start by myself, you can't fit that. You can't fit those chord progressions in there because they clash each other. And they don't fit any specific pattern that's normal for musicianship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like putting a round peg into a square hole. Like it's...
you can force it as much as you want to.
But that's
Over
also...
time, it might go in there, but it ain't going to be as snug as if you put the actual shape in there.
I think that could be the problem as well with learning, like, what bass licks. Now, I play a lick or put them up, but I don't really be big into learning them because... you can't be playing a song and go, I'm going to put this lick in here. It's never going to groove like it. You just have to just play whatever comes out.
Yeah. It's there are some like, okay, so Lobster was on his, right? Low End Lobster, you had him on here, right?
No, I haven't had him on yet. I will get him on though.
You will? Okay, awesome. Low End has a specific set of bass patterns he does when he demos his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 bass licks that I was like, I need them. So I just watched his video and watched that part and watched that part. I need this. How are you doing this? He's an interesting dude. I hope you get him on here because he's also weird.
You and him do some cool collabs. Like he did like one of what? Let me say what I think happened, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. You sent you did a bass build off. He built one bass, a Franken bass, and you built a Franken bass, and you sent it to each other, and and then you kind of reviewed it, each other's Franken bass. Is that kind of what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I still have mine. He gave his. He sold or he gave his off to charity. So I wanted to.
Oh, that's nice. Frenchie.
Okay, so I went after the Sandberg type vibe for this one. So it's a weird color, a la Marlo DK. I love him as a bass player. He's my dude. So I went with the pink, and then I sanded it down to make it like less shimmery.
Yeah.
And then I went about relicking it. And it kind of gives a used situation to it. And plays good. I went with the Seymour Duncan pickups. And then I've just recently put in an Ardare preamp in here. That's just my brand of choice as far as preamps go. And I have the battery here on the back. Few cigarette burns, few beat dings, scratches.
Throw it down the driveway or something.
Yeah, man. I had to like scuff it around. I took a grinder to it. I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
That's the shot. A flamethrower works really well. I use I have a kind of a blowtorch, and it's brilliant for relicking the bases.
Yeah, I actually took a cigarette, and I was like, hey, real quick, let me get that. Thank you. It was like, wow, okay.
Smoking's dangerous.
Yeah, so that's real life. That's what we did. We took I think the budget was $150 or so, and then we completely made a whole situation. Aside from the preamp, I think was $84.
Did the $150 include the bass parts you had already, or was that to buy the parts, like a new pickup or something like that?
No, so $150 was the neck, the body, bridge, hardware, and control plate with the passive situation in it. So I think it ended up being like the body itself ended up being $35. The neck was like $54. The bridge was like $12. Hardware was probably like $12 off Amazon. Control plate was probably around, $12, $15. Yeah. And then we had the strings from MJC. We're both MJC artists, so that was cool. And then, the TLC, getting the fret edges because it's just a slab neck. They don't care about it. So you have to, grind everything down.
That's where the real skill comes in, though, making it play nice. With a cheap, you do a lot of cheap bass reviews. I actually set up 15 cheap basses last week. Okay. I had to do it for the job I'm doing at the moment. So we got 15 basses in. But there wasn't actually that much to do apart from the odd twist of the Allen key and that kind of stuff. But you get ones that are cheaper than what I was working with. You get like $50 basses.
Well, I think the cheapest that I've actually dealt with is $75. And those are the Glary basses. Which actually turned out to be really good basses. Like I've I've had 4. I still have 1, and I've either given them to friends that wanted to start playing bass, or I think one dude was like, "Yo, I really like this one. How much you want for it?" I was like, "You can just have it." He was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna give you 100." I was like, "All right, cool. I don't
Nice.
Whatever, that's fine." So I still have my 1, which is here. It's a blue burst and gold hardware. One that I think I'm actually gonna give. I'm gonna give to another friend who wants to start. That's kind of my thing, man.
You like the bass fairy, like you're just going around giving basses.
Yeah, man. I you can tell people that actually have a passion for it, and then people that just want to get stuff. Like if I give something to you, it's just gonna sit in the corner.
Yeah,
I don't want to give it to you. But
exactly.
If you like actually show interest in doing something and you have a reason behind it, I have no problem sewing into your journey. I have no problem doing that. I think I've actually given away probably a baker's dozen basses.
Fair play. That's awesome. I don't think I've given away any basses, but I have a few around here that I could probably, but I never met someone who said, I want to start playing the bass and I can't afford a bass or I don't have one. So I would, I have a bunch of them there that I would give away happily if, like you said, you could see the passion,
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. You ever seen a kid and all you want to do is just like talk to them and hug them?
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of, so whenever I talk to people and they're like, yo, what you did kind of inspired me to like start writing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's a little thing there. All right, cool. And it was like, yeah, man, I just need to, like, I need that thing. I was like, okay.
They need a pen. The bass is like their pen.
Yeah, like I've been, and that'll lead to how are you doing that? Like, how are you shaping grooves like you do? Or how do you take a whole band and like, without telling them, drop down and then bring it up and then move to the side, and then like, how do you do that? And it's just feel. And it's like, man, I want that. And you can see it. You can see that thing because we are bass people. You see the thing.
Bass radar.
Okay. So I'll start explaining it. And if I see that they're actually trying to sponge what I'm saying, it'll start happening. I'm like, okay, I don't have a problem actually sewing into you. So yeah, I've done that maybe 12 times or so in my life.
And do you teach as well, Bully? Do you teach privately at all, bass?
No. What am I going to teach you? What am I going to teach anybody?
Everyone says that, but then they start talking like you just did. Like that's the most valuable lesson you can give someone, your philosophy when it comes to bass. Like then you show them like some intervals, grooves. Hey, before you know it, you're a bass teacher.
Well, okay, so I have to say that no, I'm not a teacher because I've never been taught. Everything that I've learned, I kind of got from me just playing and stuff. So I've never been trained to do what I do. That sounds pompous, even me saying that. I've never been taught how to do anything. I just I fail where I fail,
Yeah.
And then, so me saying that I'm going to teach somebody what I didn't get taught is weird to me. I'd much rather help you along. Because I'm not, in my mind, I'm not there. The people that are there are Victor Wooten, Jaco Pastores, Flea, Marlo DK, Scott's Bass Lessons, like Scott Devine rather, like Janet Guizdala. Like these cats are there.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm just a regular dude.
Yeah, but I'll put this to you. If people on the internet are looking at Jaco, Scott Devine as the bar, maybe they need teachers who aren't at that bar yet. They need the ones who are more here to learn from. That's what I think. Like, I put up instructional videos, not as much this year, but I have a bunch of them in the making, and I'm not up there with Scott Devine and them, but I still have something to show people. I think, So
yeah, I actually have a. So you want to play bass little mini series, and I think it's like 7 episodes or whatever, and it's on my channel. For those that are just starting out, I actually start from how to balance your bass, how to tune up, you know, basic stuff. And I think I might actually hit that again around my birthday, August, and then run it one more time for those that are new to the channel and stuff like that. But I don't consider myself a teacher, even though I've been told that because you did this, I got back into this, and thank you for being an inspiration. And that makes me feel good as a person. But like, it's not, for me, it's not about that.
Yeah, well, the worst bass teacher is the guy you go to and he's like, here's some tabs, go home and learn them. The real teacher is the person who inspires you. Like, that's what I think anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about passing on the passion that you have to somebody else to get them excited about doing something that you both enjoy. Because there's nothing like being in the pocket.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing like being in the pocket, in that you don't know what you did to get there. You probably don't know what you're doing while you're in there, and you hate to leave.
Yeah, it's the warmest place in the world. You're in there.
Oh, dude, it's so snuggly in there. Oh, and all I need is a good pad, like a good keyboard pad, and a solid drummer, and we can go into that zone and come out of that zone and go in and change grooves, and at some point, those streams, like, we just sync up and we know where we're going. It's an amazing feeling. If you don't, it's like closing your eyes and putting on noise canceling headphones and just like listening to your favorite music. You start to hear things that you wouldn't normally hear if it was played out in the open. So like, that's pretty much the best way I could describe it. The first time I put on Beats headphones and I listened to the same song that I've been listening to, but I put them on, and then all of a sudden I could hear like different stuff happening like behind my head. Yeah, and now I'm listening for smaller nuances in the song that I didn't hear in that moment, where you don't think about what's going on around you and you're fully encapsulated by what you're experiencing, is the pocket.
It's a very ethereal thing.
I'm not trying to explain it to you. I'm trying to explain it to people that don't know what it is.
I think it's very personal to the person as well. Like, one man's description might be different, but I get what you're saying. Like, and I was wondering, I saw you play with gospel musicians. Did you grow up in that culture of, you know, playing bass in church? Is that kind of that's how you started playing the bass?
Yeah.
So you were familiar with the pocket from a much younger age than most people. If you're
I actually started on the drums too. Yeah, I actually started on the drums too. So that relationship between me and the drummer was pretty much established because the drummers were my cousins. So I played the drums, taught them how to play the drums, and then I moved to the bass. They were still on the drums. One moved to the keyboard. This is the musician core of the church. So we don't have to look at each other. Like, to this day, we don't have to look at each other. We know what's happening. Just give us about 30 seconds to feel out where each person is. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening.
Let's do it. We're on.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an amazing thing whenever you feel it, whenever it's happening. Yeah.
For people over here where I am, we have nothing to relate to that really. Like, our church, going to church here is a very depressing experience, and you stop going as soon as you can. It's like, once you're old enough to not be made go by your parents, you're never going back. So like we can't really relate to that. That if going to church meant you got to play bass for an hour with all the best musicians in town, we'd all be like putting our bass in our back on Sunday to go down. Like,
I get it. Dang, man. Oh, let's see.
It's so.
Where are you at right now?
Where am I?
Yeah, where are you at?
I'm in my shed.
No, I mean, as far as the town, where are you at?
Oh, I'm like in the south of Ireland. It's like it's called Clonmel.
Okay.
It's like a small town in the south of Ireland.
I'm trying to think. Would Dropkick Murphys be somebody that you know?
Yeah, I know those bands, Flogging Mollies and Dropkicks.
Yeah, right? Okay. So I actually got to go to a concert. They came over and randomly went to Baton Rouge in Louisiana. And it was tavern music. And it was like they'll come up with a story. Lordy doity 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 doy. It was the best. And I had no idea what was going on. I drank beer out of a boot. It was great. It was a great time. Not a real boot. It was a glass boot. I don't want anybody to judge me.
This is kind of a hyper-real semi-acrim is what they call it. It's like not really something that happens in Ireland, but it's like a hyper-realized. Like we don't drink out of glass boots. We don't listen to music like the Flogging Molly. It's like extreme versions of things we might do over here.
I'm completely fine with that. Now that you told me, I'm good with that. However, that was the most fun I've had in a long time being drunk. And I remember the whole night, which is also amazing. So
are you trying so that's like the church for us, you think? A good party like that?
I feel like it.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like it. That's the biggest comparison I have. You're drinking spirits. It makes you feel a certain way, and you feel better, usually, whenever you leave the place than when you came.
Yeah, except you don't have a killer hangover after going to church. That's the only thing.
Some would hope. Hangover can also be confused as guilt.
Oh,
just how you look at
it. And how did when did you start this YouTube channel? Because like you have an impressive amount of followers, like, and like you said, it's like a community. Have you been doing it for a good few years, or is it recent enough kind of thing?
I think I've been putting videos up for right around 4 years. And I actually started this so that my mom could watch me play. Like I used to play at the home church, right? So I moved to start my career doing what I do. And I wasn't at the home church anymore playing for her and stuff like that. She couldn't go to church, hear me play, that was a thing that she enjoyed. So I created the YouTube channel so that I could play church songs and she can watch me play or hear me play in the background. So that's originally why it started. Then random people started to like click on my videos because of the basses I was using. Like I would say, like that was my first bass that I ever modified. The SX, the 6-string joint. That was the first bass I've ever modified. And I put that on there and I was playing songs with that bass or saying what I'm going to do to it, my first impressions and stuff. And people were interested in that bass. So they started to watch my videos. Well, I seen a video get, 12, which 7 could have been me watching my video, critiquing myself. And then it would go to the next video. And then it'd be like, yeah, man, it's just me, just like, I suck at talking to myself. it was just me doing that over and over and over. Why did you say that? Seriously? Wife, come see this. Look how dumb I am on camera. That type of thing. So, yeah, then it started to like jump to like hundreds. And I was like, I know I didn't watch this video 100 times. I'm critiquing myself, but not that much. And then people would subscribe to me, and I'm like, I'd go from 5, which is my family, basically, to 30, and then like 60. And I was like, who are all these mystery people? They've got to be bots. And then people started commenting on my videos. I was like, okay, so y'all are real people. Why are you here? Okay. Is this what you want to? Let's continue doing this stuff. So I started playing songs and then, doing covers, introduced drums to the channel. That kind of did good. I was like, okay, well, I'll just do what I want to do on here. And then people started asking for things like, hey, can you teach this or so? And I'm like, I wasn't taught. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I should learn the number system. I don't know what progression what's this? So it just kind of grew from there. So, yeah, my life over the past year has kind of changed a little bit now that Low and Lobster is there, Dibble is there. Me and Lobster had the bass on our channels that we sent over to Dibble, and he's the rock dude. I do funk, and then Lobster is kind of like either funk type, soul type thing. He does that. But I'm funk. That's me. I slap. Yeah. Any bass you give me, I'm slapping. That's going to happen. And then Dibble is the rock dude. So he's the pick master. That's not my thing. So we sent that bass over to him. He was like, yeah, he's going to love this one. And he did. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Dibble is a legend. He was on the podcast back last year. And his videos are serious. He puts in serious effort into his videos. The angles and all that stuff. They're like A1 quality.
Yeah, he makes me feel bad about my videos. I'm like, man, I should probably try harder because he's got like cut scenes of the basses coming in hot from the side.
Oh, yeah, it's like Hollywood.
So I'm like, oh, man, I should try more to do this, but I don't.
No, I don't think so. I think everyone watches different channels for certain reasons, and I don't really do those intros either because I'm like, I'm not spending 10 hours editing an intro that everyone's just going to skip. It's just, boom, here's the video. Let's start.
You know what? I'm going to give you something about that because I recently started doing an intro on my videos, and that only came because of Lobster. I did the intro myself, and I think it's maybe like 12 seconds. It's really only taking clips of prior videos of things you thought was semi-cool, throwing it in there, boom, 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 done.
Yeah, simple.
Grooving over a track. It's really simple. I didn't know. And then once you do it, rinse and repeat for all your videos. And then you can do cool shots out, like,
hey, not to take away
footage.
Do that, but not to take away from Dibble. If someone was doing my editing for me, I'd be like, I would try and get it as good as Dibble, but he's the master of, getting that high quality, loads of angles. Fair play to him.
Dude, I don't know. I have no idea what he does for a living, but I know it has to be something like that. I'm an engineer. Lobster is a IT nerd. Dibble has to be some type of IT nerd. He has to be. Because there's no way you coming in just a regular Joe and doing stuff like that. Like, no. And he's just starting his channel. There's no way you coming in like that.
No. So you have a day job as an engineer, like you're not playing bass for a living.
No, heck no. This ain't gonna pay.
Really?
Oh no, I'm an electrical engineer by trade. Yeah,
that's cool.
So, yeah, this is a hobby that's taken on a life of its own. It's been an experience. I'm getting like I don't know you, and you're talking to me.
I know, yeah.
And this is going to be broadcasted somewhere. This is beyond me.
And there's going to be a lot of bass players in Ireland listening to it, and they're going to know who you are. It's straight. And then they might call to your house for a pint when they come to Oklahoma.
Hey man, listen, if you come here, or if I'm still here, absolutely, I owe you a pint. We can share a case of Guinness. I'm completely cool with it.
But the electronic engineering obviously comes in handy when you're doing the wiring. I'm terrible at wiring basses. I absolutely hate it. Like,
yeah. You would think so, but the type of like I'm a power engineer, so controls is me doing the soldering iron stuff is something that I still had to learn. So all I did was just check it out on YouTube, and I basically learned how to do it. And I did the quick math. If I just took all my basses that I had to modify and sent it to Guitar Center or some place like that, some guitar place, I'd be $5,000, $6,000 in the hole right now.
Yeah.
When I could just buy a soldering station for $40 and learn how to do it myself. So I learned how to do it myself a few years ago. And then I was like, all right, it's not hard. Let's do it. So
it's not really hard. It just takes practice to get good at the soldering. And buy a good soldering iron. Don't buy a shit one that can't get hot enough. Get at least one that gets hot enough.
Yeah, and also after a few years, buy new tips to your soldering iron.
Oh God, I haven't done that. The tip on my one is just destroyed.
Yeah, unless you cleaning it every time you using it, buy a new tip, because the one that came with mine is like a thick. It's like a marker, like a permanent marker thick tip, and you can't get you can't get into those like the circuit boards. You need something that's like thin. You gotta spend the money.
Is it never spend the money? But is it never scary when you look into the control cavity of an active bass and you just see wires, just 50 wires, and you're like, what the hell?
I'm gonna give you the cheat code. You ready?
Go for it.
Okay, so you look into an active bass and you have to swap the pickups, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than go to the circuit board and pull off those points, assuming that it's like just a regular jazz bass, right? It's gonna be 2 points, a hot and a negative, right?
Yeah.
Cut them right before you go to the circuit board. Why? So that you can solder not on the circuit board and heat up the board and break it, but you can solder directly to the wire and then wrap it up. You're good to go.
I've done that one. I do that trick, but I'm talking about when your active bass isn't working properly and you have to figure out what's going on in the circuitry. That's when things get complicated.
Oh, yes. Now, that particular situation is a whole bunch of volume isolation, or it's voltage isolation, rather. So it's, okay, I turn this up. Am I getting a hot here? No. So I actually ran into that whenever I was messing with, where are you at? This bass. Of course, I have active examples of what I'm talking about.
Of course. And you can reach them all. That's so professional. You can just boom.
So this is a SX bass, which is kind of how I came on the scene.
I like the headstock. I like the way they didn't copy the Fender headstock. They just tried something different.
It's a little different. Yeah. Something they were doing for a while. And this is an ash body maple neck. Perloid inlays. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. I put in this Ardere preamp, and this pickup on the last pickups was going out. Like, I ended up finding out that the negative lead on this had fallen off, but I didn't know that this was the problem. I thought this was the problem. So I took this out. These 3 screws, the battery is inside the cavity. There is no battery compartment on the back of it. So the battery is in here. And that's a thing. That lets you know it was on. So I had to take that out, and then me tap into each wire to see if I'm getting a voltage out of it was a nightmare.
Oh, God.
So you go into it kind of like, okay, I need a clamp. So I clamp to the bridge, and then I put the test light on. Okay, I'm getting voltage out of here when I plug in here. And I take the plug out. I plug in again. Am I getting a light? No. Okay. Plug in here. Well, everything checked out here. And I was like, okay, maybe it's the inputs. Maybe it's the inputs. So I'll take this pickup, wire it into the slot that this pickup goes into, and see if it plays.
Yeah.
It did. Okay. I take that out. I take this pickup, wire it into where the bridge pickup plays. Didn't play. Okay.
It's the pickup.
Go to the neck pickup. No, I'm an engineer. I gotta try multiple situations to confirm an answer. So I plugged it back into the neck one. Didn't play. One last time. Bridge to neck pickup position. Played. All right. You my MFer. So that's how I saw.
How many hours did that take, though?
Oh man, probably like 45 minutes. Like I think I did it on camera, and I was diagnosing the whole situation. Yeah, and I kind of talked through the whole thing while I was going through.
Well, that's what it is with all fixing instruments. It's just trial and error. Start with the most obvious thing, and make things more complicated after that. Like.
Yeah, you don't go into the I need a new pickup and a new preamp situation.
No.
Ever. No. It's got to be one or two things.
Yeah.
Number one is my chord. Is it my chord?
I use fixed guitars back in. I was in a band with a guy, and he used to always sit on the couch playing guitar, and every guitar he had was broken, the jack input. And they'd just be sitting around. He's like, "Oh, they're done. I need a new guitar." I'd be like, "Man, it's just a jack." And I just soldered it for him. Done.
I'm sitting there. Maybe you need to switch from a straight jack to a 90-degree.
Yeah, that would
could be as simple as that. Because
that would save a lot of guitars.
He's not taking care of them. Obviously, just put a 90-degree jack. Plug it into the guitar.
Yeah.
Put it underneath the strap. Good to go. Out the way.
Have you done an inventory of your basses ever? Do you know, like, I don't know how big your room is. I can't tell, but just look. Is it like a big shed or just a small music room?
No, man. This is probably 13 by 10, this room. So it's 13 wide. So just to give you an idea, so that's one wall.
Okay.
Right? And then bass is over here, and then that's the other wall. So it's probably 13 wide by 10 deep. And I think I have everything as far as a man cave desires. I have the refrigerator.
Nice.
I have the microwave. I have my drums over here.
And do you have a limit on the amount of basses you're allowed to have? Well, not allowed, or you can fit?
Yes, and that is 19 at the present moment.
So one comes in, one has to leave. Is that how it works?
That's the idea usually. However, I have cases now, so that hasn't been addressed. That hasn't been addressed fully. So yeah, I have cases now, so that's a new little caveat to what's going on.
Would you have like many basses that you have like a sentimental attachment to? Like,
yes.
you don't. How many basses would you be comfortable to swap out for new ones?
I'm gonna give you the real.
Because you do swap a lot. You're sending basses to Lobster, and you're getting in SX basses, and you're you don't have too much separation anxiety, we'll say. With those ones.
With those ones, no. There are. It's kind of like Forrest Gump. There's one Jenny, right? But there's 13 ships that are named Jenny. So for me, I have my signature bass, which is the BTK5. That's a bass that I designed per my spec. This is the best feeling bass I've ever had. This is my number one girl. And then I have the first bass I've ever had in my life. That's my number two. Realistically, those two are the ones that I have the most emotional tie to. One, because I created it, and then the second one because it kind of created me. Get it?
That's true. Yeah, I'm the same. I couldn't get rid of my first bass. Like, it would be sacrilege.
Man, I had to, like, I almost got into a family fight because my uncle had my bass, and he was like, I was like, hey, I need my first bass back because that bass gives me, it's really weird, dude. It gives me a tone that I can't get from other basses. Like, it gives me a thing that I can't necessarily.
There's memory in the wood. On. They say there's memory in the wood. Like I don't know how real it is, but it obviously has memories of your playing and all the licks and music you've played on it.
It could be me mentally. Like, it gives me a thing. So, like, I'll hear any song that's like 80s on back. In my head, if I hear the song, I can hear my bass produce that sound. My first bass. Yeah. Now, anything that's modern, my new bass, absolutely. You want to see it?
Yeah. Did you get a luthier to make that? Is that, or did you build it? A friend, was it, or?
This is a brand. They actually hit me up. They was like, "Hey, we want to do this for you." I was like,
"Yes,
awesome. I have stipulations," and they were like, "Okay, well, what do you want?" And then I was like,
"Yeah, get it out and tell us what makes it a custom. Your custom bass, like what makes it unique."
Okay, all right, cool. So,
all right, lads, Bully's just getting it there now. Give him. He had every other bass to hand except this fancy one. It's obviously in the most important part of the room. It's all the right, one that he can grab quickest if there's a fire. He can just grab that. The wife, the
this
kids,
one is going. This is in the case immediately. I throw the kids out the window, carry this one out gingerly. I hope my wife didn't hear that. Now, hip shot tuners, ultralight, right?
Yeah.
The wood is purple heartstring and Jatoba.
No money, no expenses spared here. You've got Purple Heart. You know it's an expensive bass.
Well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Actually, it's cheaper than the upper Fender.
Really?
I'll say that. Yeah. Not this one because I had special stuff done. So I love stars. So I have the
Bootsy, kind of a homage to Bootsy with the stars.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. So I have that going, and then I have the P pickup, which is my favorite sound, and then I have the Music Man pickup there going on, and then the hip shot bridge. This is an 18-volt system. There, have the Sparkle paint job, and then I have the Audaire preamp, which is they're just my company, and it's a volume blend high mid or treble high mid low mid bass, and then pickup biasing for the Music Man pickup. So it's like series, single coil, and parallel.
Nice.
And there's a wheel here, so there's no adjustment in the headstock. It's down here. And the frets are stainless steel rather than the regular frets, so they'll never ever wear down. And the fingerboard is ebony. The body wood is alder. It's all hip shot hardware. Yeah, it's
really monster. Sparkly. It's super sparkly. probably more in real life. Like,
yeah, it's a thing that's happening.
all you need is the matching shirt when you're playing live with that bass.
Listen, I don't think I would do that. I think I wear all black just so I don't draw attention away from it.
So, Bully, how is the Patreon going? That's kind of a new thing you're starting, is it? You're trying to get going. It's churning along, and I think the thing that's kind of weird about my Patreon is that everything that I get from the Patreon turns right back into giveaways for the Patreon. Like, I don't need the money from YouTube. Like, I'm not living off of YouTube. This is all just a blessing for me. So if you support me on the Patreon, then I'll then have things to give to you. So, like, I just got in strings from MJC. I'm going to be giving some of those away on my Patreon for free wherever. And then I'm going to be giving away this bass, actually, and possibly that bass. Nice.
So it's I'm going to be giving, like, I have to make room on my wall so that I can get more stuff. So I give away
You're just going to giving your stuff
to
a bass to a Patreon. That's awesome.
Yeah, like, and it's specifically to them. So there's a good thing and a bad thing. The less there are, the more possibilities of you winning. But also, I'm going to be buying new stuff too. And I'm going to be giving that away. So the more money I get on Patreon, the better stuff I can give away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's class.
So it kind of works. Yeah. And I'm not keeping it. I'm set up. I have my bass situation. I have two bass situations.
Yeah.
There's a whole 4x8 that this is resting on. I'm cool. I want to help people. And that's kind of my thing. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Cool. Like, I want to help people that actually care about doing the thing I care about doing.
Yeah, so I think you're coming at it from a different angle than most people, content creators, if you don't mind being called that. Like, you're not trying to become a YouTuber. It's not your career path. So, like, you have a different outlook on it, I suppose. And that's kind of, people are seeing that, and they're kind of, I can see them getting in it. Well, that sounds like great crack, the Patreon. Join up and win a free bass, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So actually, I think I'm gonna be doing one giveaway for. Can I say it here? Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna be doing a video myself.
This will be out in
this bass.
2 weeks. I'll probably put this one out. So
sweet. So this bass is actually being given away on my Patreon in March. This is a
sub, is it? Music Man sub.
Sterling by Music Man sub 5.
I actually sold that exact bass before Christmas. I had one.
Yeah, man. So this is going to be one of the first bass that I give away this year. I've given away 3 on my channel so far. And I have this one that I'm going to give away. And then May is going to be the next one that I give away something. And that's going to be this one. This is an Onion.
Cool.
If I don't give this bass away, I'm going to revamp it. Yeah, this is my Avril Lavigne. This is my punk bass. So when I do something crazy, or I have to have a gig that involves me doing, playing in a venue that's pretty wild, I'll pull this one out. So either I'm going to revamp this and then possibly give it away, or just revamp it for me. I don't know yet. But this one is going to be given away for sure.
Awesome.
I'm waiting on some Aguilar situations for this. And then I'm probably going to do an Ardere preamp in here as well. That should make this monstrous. At the very same time, I could do the same thing for this one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So that's kind of like
these are going to be gone next month.
Is that like your plan for the future? Keep uploading stuff and build a Patreon up make some cool bases, give out some free stuff. Is that basically the plan without having too much of a plan at the same time?
My plan, the only reason why the Patreon even exists is so that I could give back directly to the people that actually like rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So my plan for my channel has never been to make money, not to profit, or give a review that I wouldn't stand behind. So I've had the question come, like, every bass that's on your channel you like. I was like, yeah. It's like, so what does that mean? If I don't like the bass, it doesn't come on my channel.
That's a good policy though.
So if like I've never got paid for any review that I did. Now, granted, I've had Fender has sent me 2 basses. Glary has sent me 4 basses. I've had a few, Sire has sent me 2 basses. Like, I've had a few companies work with me, and I told them all, like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If your bass sucks, it sucks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, because I'm just a regular dude, just like anybody else buying your stuff would be just a regular person. So in my review, the only thing that I can give you is my real-time reaction, and you can watch from how I play and what I'm doing whether or not I dig this bass or not. And I feel like that comes through every time I play, because if I don't lose myself while playing the bass, then it's not worth me playing.
Yeah, the reviews have integrity then as well.
Yeah, if I have a plan and this bass doesn't make me stray from that plan in the groove, then you didn't do your job as a bass maker. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like everybody has a plan how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best I could promise anybody that I do a review for. So I've had a few companies that were like, "Hey, we'll give you this. Just say something good about us." And I was like,
"No,
no."
I didn't get offered any basses. I got offered a watch, but I don't even wear a watch. And this company are like, "Do you want one of our watches? You'll have to promote it." As like, it might be a bit disingenuous. Like, I start coming on and I'm like showing off my new watch. Yeah.
No, I had a company send. I'm a bass player. I'm a drummer. I had a company send me a lead guitar.
And what was it like? Did they actually post it to you?
No, it's there. It's there. It's a nice guitar. It's a nice guitar. However, I'm a bass player.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it just me? I kind of have a thing when I see bass channels. When the guy plays guitar, I'm like, I don't want to see you playing guitar on this channel. I mean, it might be just me, like, but I like to just see drums and bass. No, that's cool. But
it's not just you. It's not just you. I've had people that's like, yo, this is a bass channel. Don't play drums on here.
Oh, well, the drums and the bass are okay.
My channel. I was like, number one, this is my shit.
It's my channel, and you're telling me
my channel. I do whatever the hell I want to. I don't need you. I didn't ask you to be here.
you don't. I'm not holding a gun to your head to watch the video. Like,
I didn't ask you to watch the first one that you got hooked on, bro. I didn't. This is for my mom. Long as I don't have, long as I have at least 2, 3 subscribers, I'm cool.
Is your mom still watching all the videos?
Wife, my mom.
Does your mom still watch every video you put up?
Dude, I'm pretty sure she does.
I'm say hello to her there now.
She'll randomly, she'll randomly drop in and be like, "Hey, son," and I'm like, "Oh."
You're like, I hope I wasn't cursing in this video.
Dude, and that's also another thing. I chose to kind of be clean on all of my stuff. So I don't have a lot of people in my circle that could bring that type of vibe around. You know what I'm saying? Lobster's a little rough. You'll meet him. Just tell him the stipulations. He's cool.
I know my language can be a bit. Americans don't curse a lot, and Irish people use curse words kind of just in normal vocabulary.
Yeah, y'all curse and it means stuff. You curse. I've never heard an F-bomb drop like an Irishman drops an F-bomb. Like put a whole, but the K in the F-bomb is so big.
I was chatting to one guy and I was after dropping so many F-bombs and he just said shit and he apologized. I was like, fuck. He must think I'm like a sailor or something. I'm dropping bombs here all the time. I actually nearly got, this is a funny story. I was in Texas and we over here we used to, see you next Tuesday. You know that word? We I probably have to beep that out. But I'll say see you next Tuesday. We use that word a lot, like, and it's not a big deal. Like, sometimes we even use it like as a way of an affection, like to someone. And when we were in Texas, me and the lads in the band, and we were in a hotel, and I was saying this a lot, and they were going to kick me out of the hotel. They said, "Sir, you're going to have to leave if you use the C word again." But it turns out they didn't actually have any policy that I couldn't use the C word, so it was grand. We just kept going.
you just made people uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was more of a suggestion. Can you stop saying the C word? But that was kind of mind-blowing.
We're going to kick him out, but we can't kick him out. We're going to be very unhospitable to him.
And they were. We had to take our cans up to the bedroom. It was just like, if you're going to be dropping the C word, just get out of the bar.
It's
good to be clean though. If your mom is watching, especially, you don't want to be cursing and
yeah. She's the church lady, so I kind of, you can't have your mom suggesting that people check out your page and you dropping all type of language everywhere. So it's not even something that I set out to do. It's just something that happened, and then I'm here now. Years after it started, I'm here now.
Hey,
so
you're just being you.
Yeah, trust me, I'm a dirty mouth person, but my mom doesn't know that, and I'm happy about it.
Once that red light comes on, the curse words don't come
Oh,
out.
halo. This shine right here, that's a halo. That's not a light.
Right, guys. So, where can people? Is it mainly on YouTube you hang out, or you're on Instagram a bit more these days as well? You're kind of putting stuff up there a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't understand why I have as big a following on YouTube and I don't have one on Instagram. So
well, the videos, 20-second videos on Instagram is kind of the optimum length. So.
Yeah, and then people just like scroll, which I should tap into because I know that. But in me, it's like once you get into the groove, you gotta be there for a minute.
You can't edit.
So I end up always taking it longer than it needs to be. So I'm gonna figure out that algorithm. Instagram is the next one. Yeah, we'll see how things happen. So I usually try out. I have a surplus of videos that I haven't released yet, and I'll try a clip from a video that I haven't released to see how it does, which is what I did for my V7 fretless video, and that one did good. Sire picked it up, and then they reposted it and stuff like that. I was like, all right, let's go ahead and drop this on YouTube. That's gonna do good.
Yeah, test the water,
Yeah, gotta chum it a little bit. What's going on here? Y'all like that? I got more of it right here.
give the people what they want, as long as it's clean. That's
I mean, that's not my main goal, but it may be a byproduct of what it is.
Cool. Well, I'm going to stick your links in under this, and everyone can check you out. And,
appreciate it.
I really appreciate you coming on. It's great. I'm trying to think. You're my second American guest, so it's great to get on people from the international guests and introduce you to the Irish bass playing community.
All right. Yeah, I need you to send me some links to some bands that you really like that you dig on. Because all I know are the ones that's crossed over to America. So I said Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Molly. What is it? Ragweed? No, not Ragweed.
Yeah, but they're American bands. They're from Boston. Even those bands, the Mollies, and they're actually American bands.
Yeah, I don't know any authentic. Like, I don't know what that's like. So I have a play brother who's Irish. He's a mutt. He's a complete mutt. So he's like Irish, Scottish, German, British. He's just a mixture of things. And then like he gave me a kilt, and I was like, "Yeah, we doing this."
They're pretty comfortable.
Hey man, it's freeing. Okay,
let the air circulate.
Hey, you got to do it, baby. You got to do it. What you gonna tell me? You ain't gonna tell me nothing. So it's just me and him wearing kilts. I wish I would have had it in here. I don't have it in here. It's in my other room. Yeah. So he has one. I have one. It's the same print, and we were just us. It's my body, but a white person, and we're just walking up the street in kilts. People don't know what to say to us. It's phenomenal to have the moment where you see people see you and they don't know what to say. Oh, so great. Yeah, you just...
Do you know the origin of the kilt? Apparently it's Irish. The reason it wraps around so much is because, like, if you were out in the mountains, you could wrap it around you and use it to go to sleep. I think that's where it started. So that was the practical use of having so many wraps that you could use it to sleep in, and then you can just wear it as a garment as well.
I always wondered, whenever I've seen it, we're not talking about Braveheart. Whenever I've seen it like over the shoulder, I always wonder, how do they get it to fold in so that it clasps, so that it doesn't just flop open? Because you got it like it's wrapped here and then around the body, and then there has to be something to stop it from popping open and showing the junk to everybody.
Years of practice and lots of scotch.
Oh, bro! Like, I was sitting there just staring at it. I was like, "How did Mel Gibson do this? What did they have clasp? I don't
know. They actually filmed Braveheart in Ireland. They didn't film it in Scotland. And there's actually one bit in the film, if you pause, you can see a white van driving through the mountains. Just one of those bloopers,
You're going to make me watch that again. That's funny.
You're going to watch closely. There's a good few bloopers in it.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Look at that. That's a Chevy.
But I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. You've got great energy, and I think that's what kind of draws people to your channel. They're like,
I appreciate it.
It's kind of like they want to log on and kind of hang out with you. They feel like they know you, So they're not just clicking on this edited review. They're like, I'm kind of hanging out with Bully for 20 minutes.
Like, well, what does he think about this? Yeah. That's kind of what I want.
Yeah, and also your gaming channel. I'll link that as well. That's a new thing you're starting as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, I'm a gamer as well, but I'm not playing. I don't play sports games like you play, but other stuff.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate it. I'm gonna say this, and this is just pop culture situations. In my mind, Ireland is all Caucasian people, like white people. I ran across a black Irish girl, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I just stayed there. We were in McDonald's. I stayed there another 20 minutes just watching her talk about anything. Just watching her talk.
We're multicultural
True story.
now.
Happened 2 weeks ago.
In the 1950s, we weren't that multicultural, but Ireland is just as multicultural as every country in the world now. But you know who Phil Lynott is, don't you? You don't know who Phil Lynott is?
Who?
Phil Lynott, the coolest bass player ever. Oh man, Tin Lizzy. No. You know Tin Lizzy?
Yeah, I know Tin Lizzy.
Yeah, the
Bass
singer.
player?
Yeah, the bass player and singer. He's a black Irishman. The singer is a black Irishman.
No clue.
Are you serious?
No clue.
Yeah, he's one cool
You
motherfucker.
put me on the stuff, man. I never had a...
Phil Lynott, Phil.
Oh, snap. He got an afro.
Yeah, he's got it all. He wears leather pants, man.
What is happening? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's okay. That is interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, he's.
How did I miss that?
And not only is he black Irishman, you don't see that many black people fronting rock bands, especially in that era.
No, you don't.
Not a
Which
thing.
is probably why it just skipped my whole radar. That he has a full-fledged afro.
And don't forget the leather pants.
That is wild.
He's a rocker.
I'm trying. I have to start at the top and then work down. I'm looking at his face. This is the brother, and then he's playing a Rickenbacker 4003 too. I have no problems with that.
He mainly used to play a P bass. He did this cool thing.
I'm looking at the P too.
He put a mirrored scratch plate on his P bass. That was kind of his signature.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures at the present moment, and this is wild, dude. I had no idea. I got to do a deep dive.
Yeah, I'll send you on some good tunes. He's one cool guy though. He had some good solo songs as well. He went solo after Tin Lizzy brought out an album or two.
You've opened my eyes to a whole bunch of stuff, man. I had no idea.